Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for November 23, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, Education Ministry backs St. George's after students suspended for social media posts. Amid calls for the Ministry of Education to intervene following the recent suspension of a fourth form St. George's College student who posted a video to social media of a broken fan, the ministry has expressed support for the disciplinary action. Confirming that the ministry has received a report of the 7-day suspension, Permanent Secretary Dr. Kassan Troop said due process was followed.
The regulations at the school, as reported by the principal, is that students are not permitted to use their phones at school. They are not permitted to take recordings of the school and share that without the permission of the principals and the authorities involved. That was not observed. The matter was brought to the attention of the principal. The matter in the public space brought some disrepute to the institution, and the outline consequence of that is that students are normally suspended for breaches of such nature. And we have seen testimonials from the boys that it has helped them, and today we have seen St. George's College moved up the rank from a low or underperforming in terms of what we expected of them to a very high performing school, with this year showing a success rate of 91% in their CSEC and CAPE examination results. We are definitely proud of the institution. This is an institution, an all-boys institution, and we are concerned as Jamaicans about the success of our boys. And we see an institution working assiduously with its parents and partners to make sure that the boys are successful. This school has done it, it has proven it.
All eyes on Speaker as IC submits reports of 4 investigations on investigations and the related rulings of its Director of Corruption Prosecution could be tabled in the House of Representatives next Tuesday. While following its operating procedure and not indicating the nature of the report, the IC in a media release on Wednesday said the reports and rulings were submitted to Parliament and signed for at 1:50 p.m. According to the Commission, hard copies of the reports were submitted in separate envelopes under cover of identical letters addressed to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Juliet Holness, President of the Senate, Tom Tavares Finson, and the Clerk of the Houses of Parliament, Valerie Curtis. The Commission added that the indicative rulings were also similarly addressed and submitted in separate envelopes. A USB flash drive with PDF electronic copies of all documentation submitted was also sent. The Integrity Commission anticipates that its investigation reports, which were submitted pursuant to and in conformance with Section 54 of the Integrity Commission Act, together with the associated indicative rulings, will be tabled in both houses of Parliament as soon as possible, said the Commission in the release. Members of the House of Representatives have been at odds in recent weeks about how to treat reports from the Integrity Commission and the Auditor General's Department. In a recent ruling, Holness said investigation reports from the Commission will be tabled after they are received. Reports of the Director of Investigation submitted under Section 54(4) will be tabled as soon as possible after receipt by the Parliament, having regard to the serious nature of the matters that are contained therein. It will be requiring the immediate and direct attention of the House. After it is tabled, it will then be submitted to the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee for their consideration and report. Kindly note, all reports from the Integrity Commission will be reviewed by the officers before they are tabled and will be tabled in the soonest possible time. No effort will be made to delay such reports, said Holness. Area 1 top cop vows to capture criminals who fled SSOE dragnet. Head of the Area 1 Police, ACP Clifford Chambers, has expressed confidence that criminals who escaped the dragnet of the state of public emergency in St. James will be captured. There is strong information that persons who are wanted in St. James are elsewhere outside of St. James, he told a journalist on Wednesday on the sidelines of the Police Civilian Oversight Authority Special Awards ceremony held at Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James. The senior cop said the security forces are pursuing the hoodlums. There is really no escape, said Chambers. His comments came on the heels of Wednesday's killing in St. Mary of a man who had been implicated in several murders in St. James, including one at the gates of Salt Spring Primary and Infant School. The manifestation of what happened in Mason Hall, St. Mary, is indicative of criminals moving out of the space because of the heightened police activities, stated ACP Chambers. Though we try to put up the blockage, and then we try to have operations targeting them based on the legality of having to make the announcements about SOE implementation, sometimes you find that people will slip through the cracks. And oftentimes, when a person is responsible for a major crime, their next move is to move from one location to another, he added. He said the police will be working across divisions to apprehend those on the run. The dynamics of our policing as it now stands is that all the areas, divisions, and the sections are coordinating and conducting linked investigation. Wherever they are at, they will be pursued as we carry out our mandate to get them, vowed the ACP Chambers. The government declared a 14-day-long SOE in St. James on November 8. Up to press time, there had been no word on whether it would seek to have the Governor General sign off on another. That is one option it has, instead of trying to cajole the opposition, which has consistently said it is not in favor of long-term use of SOEs, to agree to an extension. With criminals escaping into other parishes and the SOE set to expire, ACP Chambers acknowledged the challenges the police face. It tells us that our job will always be a tough one, he said. However, he appeared confident that they can make an impact even without an SOE. When the state of emergency comes to an end, I am certain that the High Command will initiate other operational initiatives, said the ACP. We have various initiatives that can be put in place to continue the pursuit, even though they may not have the legal latitude that the military has under SOE, he added. On Wednesday, Odin Jungle Barrett was killed in a shootout in Mason Hall, St. Mary, during a joint operation between cops from St. James and the Area 2 operational formation in St. Mary. ACP Chambers said Barrett had been hiding in the Eastern Parish. As a result of the information and intelligence provided to the police went in pursuit of the man who challenged the police in a gunfire. The police returned the gunfire and he was shot and injured, and an illegal firearm recovered from him. He was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead upon arrival, said the top cop. We are encouraging persons who are wanted to turn themselves into the police, and we would encourage the general public to contact the police if they have reasons to believe that the persons in their district are known to be wanted. We ask them not to facilitate them because supporting them is also an offense, he cautioned. Nurse practitioners will soon be given limited prescriptive rights. Family nurse and mental health psychiatric nurse practitioners will soon get the green light to write prescriptions under limited circumstances. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the Cabinet has approved the issuance of drafting instructions to the Chief Parliamentary Council to amend the Nurses and the Midwives Act and the Pharmacy Act to allow for the licensing of advanced practice registered nurses. Dr. Tufton says the move signifies an evolution of the country's health care to meet the needs of the population.
In many of our deep rural health centers, these are the only stable personnel and oftentimes have to administer care with some consultation, remote consultation, but nevertheless have the training to provide very good clinical assessment and diagnosis, and this additional authority will allow them to complete that cycle in a safe and patient-centric way. So what we're seeking to do is to upskill existing categories of healthcare specialists to provide more services, more responses to a population that has a sick profile that spans rural, urban, right across the country. Therefore, the proposed amendments to the legislative framework are not just timely, in my view, they are long overdue. They are also very essential as part of the reforming of our health services. Empowering APRNs with the ability to prescribe, especially in rural areas, is a significant step towards improving patient outcomes and delivering more comprehensive care.
Opposition spokesman on health Dr. Maurice Guy has welcomed the proposed granting of prescriptive rights to advance the practice registered nurses, but questioned the level of oversight that will exist.
Will they be working in areas that are not supervised by physicians? Because there are some health centers where they are not necessarily health centers that are having clinics for diabetes, hypertension, but health centers that people walk off the street. The concern will exist that will they be allowed to work carte blanche? When the bill comes, there will be other concerns based on what the legislation is proposed to be there. But in all, we think it's a good, provided it's properly supervised, it's a good measure to give this amount of legal stature to those individuals who have been working the system over the years, have been providing a level of care.
Audio